Hey, what's going on everyone out there in YouTube land? So today we're going to have a look at a unregulated device, this one coming from Steel Vape, and this is the Sanctuary. Yes, my friends, there it is, the Sanctuary. Now some of you might have seen me using this on the live shows. I've been using it quite a bit. Got the Goon sitting on top of here, the very heavily patinaed Goon. Got a 0.09 build in here, pretty low build. Some type of fuse Clapton coil, not too sure what's in here, but it's vaping pretty good. Dripping on some of the One from the Beard Vape Co. Freshly charged Sony VTC5As. This is running in parallel 4.2 volts, and let's have a vape, shall we? Let's do it. Now, the Sanctuary was sent over directly by Steel Vape for the purpose of this review. If you guys are looking to pick one up or check one out after the video, I will not have any links in the description. I will have a link to the product page on the Steel Vape website because I was not aware of this, but this is not yet available. Steel Vape, you know, they are shipping these out to vendors at the moment. Once a vendor has these in stock, I will update the description with some links. As far as the price, I'm not too sure on the price. I'm going to assume it's going to be under $100, but once I get information on price and who has it, I will update it in the description. Let's have an up-close look at the Sanctuary unregulated box mod, this one coming from Steel Vape. Presentation box, have a quick look at the box. On the back, we do have the specifications on the mod, caution, and a authenticity sticker. Inside the box, you're going to get the Sanctuary device, which is available in blue, red, and black. Along with the device, they're going to include a user manual that goes over some of the features and a few of the safety features the Sanctuary offers. Dimensions, we're looking at 103 millimeters tall, 56 millimeters wide, and 26 millimeters thick. This device does weigh in at 360 grams without batteries, so it is a heavy device. It is constructed of aluminum alloy, brass, and stainless steel. At the top, we do have an all stainless steel 510 connection. Down in the center, a gold-plated spring-loaded 510 pin, and we do have quite a bit of travel on that pin. So most of your atomizers will sit flush on top of the 510 connection. We do have an insulator that goes around the 510 connection, so that way heat will not transfer from your atomizer to the device and, you know, make your device really hot. Now, one thing about the 510 connection, it does kind of stick out a little bit, which means your atomizers will not sit flush on top of the mod itself. So if I screw down the ever so famous 25 millimeter Kennedy, you guys will see that the atomizer, if I can actually screw it down here, will sit flush on top of the 510 connection, but there's going to be a little bit of a gap because that 510 is raised up a little bit. Now, 26 millimeter will be the max before we have any overhang. Anything over 26, we're going to have overhang along the sides and on the front. Along the corner right here is going to be your firing switch. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is not a mechanical mod. This is an unregulated device, meaning that it has wires and circuits, or in this case, wires and a MOSFET on the inside. So this is not a mechanical firing switch. This is an electronic switch, and as you can see, nice and clicky, very responsive. I've had no issues with the button. Nice and low profile, made of stainless steel, and it's in the perfect location. I usually hold my device like this, and my thumb just sits right there, makes it very comfortable to fire it. And also keep in mind, because it is a electronic switch, you would think it might have the 5 clicks on and off feature, but it doesn't. Once you put your batteries in, the device is on, and once you take your batteries out, the device is off. At the bottom, we're going to have your dual battery caps. As you can see, they are gold plated. We do have vent holes cut out in each of the caps for battery ventilation. This one is using dual 18650s ran in parallel. And to remove the battery cap, all you got to do is just get your nails or your fingers in there and unscrew the caps. And since it is ran in parallel, it's going to be positives up, negatives down. I'm running Sony VTC5A, which is the battery that I recommend for pretty much everything. And if you look on the inside, you're going to see your positive indicators at the very top. And I believe the battery tubes are made of brass. We have a stainless steel I believe this is stainless steel, like a housing that's going over 2 brass tubes. That's what it looks like anyways. They only sent me 1 device, so I'm not going to take it apart, but they do state this is using a MOSFET. So there is a MOSFET inside of here to protect the switch, so we're all good there. And just insert your batteries. Once again, positive up and positive up again, and then screw down the battery caps. And once the batteries are installed, we have absolutely no battery rattle and no button rattle. And because the caps sit kind of recessed inside the mod, when you set it down on the tabletop, the mod sits nice and straight. On the front of the mod, we're going to have the Steel Vape logo at the top right here, machined into the finish. On the back, I almost thought for a second that this was a pentagram, but it's actually a hexagram. And the finish, it actually feels like it's a Cerakote kind of baked on finish. I'm not 100% sure what kind of finish they're using. It does seem pretty durable. Now, this is the one that I've been using for a little over a week, and I notice I have a little tiny chip right there. I'm not sure exactly what I did. It might have been my ring, but I don't see how that'd be possible. So I'm not sure what happened there, but it feels pretty good. It feels solid, feels durable. Once again, it's a really heavy device, and like I said, I believe we have a stainless steel kind of box or shell going over 2 brass tubes. And if you're wondering, can you unscrew these brass tubes? No, this is all, I believe, just one solid piece. And if we do a quick size comparison of the Sanctuary up against the, I forgot the name of it, but it's by Geek Vape, and then up against the Hexome box, you can see the Sanctuary is a little bit taller, not by much, but it's a little bit taller. Probably around the same size as the Hexome, possibly. Actually, it's the same height as the Hexome. And as far as the width is concerned, it's a little bit wider, but it's almost the same size as the Hexome. Because of the tubular design that we have here and the button placement, it actually is more comfortable than holding on to a box mod. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to be it for the up close and personal. Let's jump back up and let's have a vape. So let's cover a few things before we hop into the pros and cons. For those out there who are not really knowledgeable about unregulated devices, one thing to keep in mind, this device right here is for experienced users only. It's not for the new vapor. It's not for someone who doesn't know what batteries to use. It's not for someone who doesn't know how low they can build. If you don't know what batteries are safe for this device, it's not going to be for you. Also, this is unregulated. It is not mechanical. We have a MOSFET, we have wiring, and we have an electronical switch, meaning it's unregulated. But it still works like a mechanical device. For instance, it's using dual 18650s ran in parallel. Now, when you run batteries in parallel, you're still going to get 4.2 volts, but you're going to get double the milliamp hour, which means more battery life, and the amperage is going to get a boost. Now, some people will argue running 2 batteries will double the amperage, and some people will argue that no, it doesn't double the amperage. What I usually recommend, if I'm using 2 Sony VTC5A that are 25 amps each, I usually recommend building between 35 and 40 watts to be on the safe side. Some people will build, lower, higher amps, but, that's all on you. Now, one day I accidentally was vaping a 0.05 on here by accident, and I vaped it the entire day, a nice hot vape, and the device itself didn't heat up, the button didn't crap out, the MOSFET didn't crap out, and it lasted the entire day. So this thing held up really well, but keep in mind the minimum atomizer resistance is going to be a 0.10. Do not build a 0.05 on here. Another thing to keep in mind, and another reason why it's for experienced users only, is because we don't have any low voltage protection on here. So when you put your batteries in here, 2 freshly charged batteries, you'll get the 4.2 volts, but throughout the day, as your battery drains, the voltage is going to drop, and you have to know when to remove these batteries and change them out. Unlike a regulated device where it tells you, your batteries are about to be dead, change them. On this device, it's not going to tell you anything. So you can end up vaping this the entire day, draining your batteries too low, damaging the battery and possibly damaging yourself. So another reason why this is more for the experienced vapor. So yeah, with all that aside, let's have a quick vape. So pro number one, this device is built like a tank. 360 grams without batteries, man. This thing has got some weight to it. Very hefty, chunky device. I believe it's solid stainless steel with brass tubes in it. This thing, you could chuck it out a window and you can go downstairs, pick it up, and still continue the vape. So very durable device, and the finish seems really durable. Even though I have that little chip right there, I'm not sure what happened. I think I might have dropped it on concrete, but even the finish on here, man, is really durable. This is an awesome device, especially for someone that's really hard on their devices. So I will give it a thumbs up for the overall durability and, you know, the machine quality. They did a really nice job also. The next pro does not get warm. As I said earlier, I was an idiot and I was vaping a 0.05, not knowing it because I didn't really test my resistance. And this device did not heat up at all, get warm. It might be because we have that little insulator going around the 510 connection. It might be because the atomizer's raised off the device. I'm not sure what it is, but running it at a 0.1 throughout the day, it's not going to get warm on you. So that is a nice little added kind of, I don't know what it is, but it's nice. It doesn't get warm. So the next pro, love the button. Perfect placement right there. Just, I hold it like this. My thumb is right there. It's not a mechanical button, so it doesn't require me to really push on it. It's a nice kind of electronical clicky button, requires a little to no force, and I had no issues with the button whatsoever. So yeah, love the button on here. The next pro, it hits hard, and I don't usually say that about mods, like, you know, hits like a truck, but I noticed that when comparing this device to another single 18650 mech mod, or let's say a dual 18650 unregulated box, this thing seems to hit a little bit harder, and I'm not too sure why that is. Like I said, it's not regulated, so, but it just, I don't know, it feels like it hits really, really hard. When you hit that button, this thing instantly fires. So it performs just like a mech mod, which is nice. So we'll give it a thumbs up for that. And the last pro, of course, we have a MOSFET on the inside. Now, I can't really confirm it because I only have one. I don't want to take it apart because I probably can't get it back together. But I'm going to go on what Steel Vape is stating on their website. There is a MOSFET on the inside here, which is nice. It will protect the switch and make things a little bit safer. So we will give it a thumbs up for that. So let's talk about the two cons that I got with this device. The first con, atomizers do not sit flush on the mod itself. They do sit flush on the 510 connection, but not the mod. That's going to bother some people. I have a feeling they purposely did that so that way the mod doesn't heat up or the heat doesn't transfer from the atomizer to the device. But still, I know some people like everything sitting nice and flush, including myself, so I will give it a con for that. And the next con, the battery caps. They work. I have no issues with them whatsoever, but it's just irritating changing out batteries on here. It's really slow. You got to get your fingers in there. And you don't have a lot of grip to where you can just spin the cap off. You have to keep turning it. So it's really, really slow having to change your batteries out. So at the end of the day, if you're an experienced vapor, if you're looking for something in the mechanical unregulated market, if you're looking for something that hits hard, that's built like a brick shithouse, I can guarantee you, you're going to love this device. Now, the looks are not going to be for everyone. When I first seen this device, it looked really, really cheap. But when I pulled it out of the box and felt just how heavy and durable it was, and when I screwed down my atomizer and realized how hard this thing hits, I immediately fell in love with it. So if you're into the unregulated mechanical scene, I can promise you, you're going to enjoy the Sanctuary. Alright guys, that's it. That's all I got for you today. If you have any comments or questions on this bad boy, please feel free to leave them below. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to everyone very, very soon. Make sure you guys build safe and vape on.